early on. So do you want to get started? Kevin, introduce yourself and let people know exactly what you do and how you and I got connected pretty much. No sound.
That was my fault. Okay, my name is Kevin. Born and raised here in Atlanta. I go by Credit K on most social media. I'm a credit strategist. That's what I call myself. I refer to myself as, meaning that I teach people how to get to point A to point B, depending on what their goals are and what they're trying to do regarding credit. How me and James connected is just, I always feel like minds always gravitate to each other. And I mean, I saw a couple of his posts coming from my social media marketing page. And I saw a lot of his posts and I just started following him and, you know, we just kind of connected. I joined his Discord and saw the value and things he was doing. He saw the value and some of the things I was posting and we just built and now we're here trying to give you guys the quality content and quality information you need regarding credit, stocks, crypto, everything, leveling up in life.
So Kevin, one question I have for you is that I do have a lot of people that comes to me about credit. They want to build credit. What do you think is the best way for somebody that's like in the high fives or low six that wants to get to a 7?
Okay, well, usually if you are in the low sixes, high fives, it means you have something negative on your credit. And that's the first thing you need to do is get that negative item off your credit, whether it's a collections from an old Macy's charge card you had when you was in college, whether it's a car repossession, or just a credit card you let go, you ran it up and didn't take care of the bill. So that's number one. And the ways to do that, there's free ways to take care of those issues. If you write the credit reporting agencies, let them know that this count has been late because of issues regarding coronavirus or the pandemic. A lot of times they grant you what is called a late pass, and they pay as late it's called paid late as guaranteed. So they're pretty much mark your late payment off in that regards, and that's one way you can
nice.
Boost your credit up just by sending a letter or even calling some of these creditors or the collections agency and saying, hey, you fell on a hard time due to the pandemic and certain laws are in place and that are still in place even to this day that allow you to get that negative item marked off your credit report. So that's the number one. Now, also, if you're at that level, that means you probably don't have any credit as well. Because usually, bad credit and good credit offset each other. So if you have a strong credit card or a card note that you've been paying on for 4 or 5 years, then usually offsets bad credit that's over 6 months old. So another thing you need to do is actually build onto your credit if you're that low. One thing, a free game or free gem I want to give to everybody, if you have an Apple device, an iPhone or iPad, download an app called Grain. It is called a no credit check credit line that reports to all the credit bureaus.
Nice.
So download that app called Grain. I'm going to actually type it here in the
type
comments.
it for everybody that's listening right now because a lot of people need that information.
This is a gem. I also do business credit. I see a comment coming in about business credit. But the thing about business credit, if you don't have your personal credit in tip-top shape, business credit won't help you. A lot of people think business credit is a substitute for personal credit, but it's not. In order to take full advantage of business credit, you want to have tip-top shape in the personal credit, meaning 680 or better. That's what they call good credit. And then once you get into 730 or higher, that's excellent credit. So you want it in between those ranges, 680 and 630, to start really taking advantage of business credit cards and started leveraging into other things like Turo, which we're going to get into this evening.
Okay, so my next question for you, Kevin, is that if somebody actually have that 650 and above, like they have like a 690, a 680 or a 650 where they don't have any negative items affecting them, but their scores is very low. So what would you recommend?
So that's the pocket where a lot of clients come to me. A lot of people are now, especially once you get above 30 age, you kind of knocked off all the bad stuff, but you can't really get to that 700. And that's because of utilization. that means you're using your credit cards, or that loan payment or that house payment or that car loan is above 30%. And you need to get it below 30%. You can get it down to 29%. So say for instance, you have a $10,000 credit card. If you're over $3,000 on that limit, your credit score is actually going to drop. No matter how many times you pay, how many, if you pay twice a month and you're on time regularly, your credit score is still going to drop significantly because you're over that 30% utilization. So you need to get it down to pay $100 and get it down to $2,900, and watch your credit score start to go back up. It's that easy. So once you're in that pocket, that 650 to 675 pocket, that means your utilization is real high. And also probably you need a better mix of credit. So you might just only have 2 credit cards. That means you need to go to get a car loan or a personal loan. Or you might only have a car loan. That means you need to go get a credit card or a line of credit like that grain line of credit I just showed you guys. So, man, but especially if you're at that score, you can get some credit cards, a good credit card, starter credit cards to get at that score would be Discover It. The Discover It card is great for starter people who don't have a credit score established or any other credit cards. Those they give you high limits, man.
Yeah, I know. One of my guys, we're going to get to that question in a minute. One of my guys on here, actually, I helped them secure, I think about 9 or 10 grand.
Okay.
I sent him over to Discover. He got approved for 8,000, and I think Chase Platinum, yeah, Discover gave him 8 grand. Typically, they start people off with 5,000, but he got approved for 8,000 or 8,500. Kwame, are you on here? Can you let everybody know, please, the exact amount? And Chase Freedom, which typically start around like 8 to 10,000. I guess that's what I got approved for.
I got 8 from them.
So I got 12, and one of them is 15. So I sent him there, and they gave him only, I think, 1,500, and then Discover gave him like 8,500 or 8,000. I was shocked, but now he's in good shape. So one question is, I paid off a 6-year car loan. Why did my score drop 92 points after payoff?
The beautiful question. I love when you get that question. It's because that was probably your oldest account. Age accounts for at least 20% of the makeup of your credit score. So age of account is very important. That's one of the reasons why I haven't fully paid off my student loans yet. I still keep a small balance on my student loan from 2008, just because it's an extra old account and it helps my credit score. So once you paid off that 6-year credit loan, and that was your oldest, probably your oldest. I haven't seen your credit score, but I assume that's probably one of your oldest lines of credit or credit lines. So that's why it dropped. Now, 92 points is a steep drop. So that probably means you don't have anything else other on your credit report as well. So you want to, go out and ask some credit, man.
I'm assuming that something else may have affect that, not just the car payment. So I understand his question. Like, if I paid off a loan 6 years on time payment, that should have been helping me. But instead it did the opposite.
And it was.
And then 92 points, a lot of points. I mean, that's a lot. You got to do like that. That's just way too dramatic. So I could see why he's so confused.
Yeah. But like I said, I think
why
he either
give him 92 points. He should have gotten 92 points, not dropped 92 points. So,
no, he definitely would have dropped.
Next question, why is it so hard to get to a 700?
Usually only lasts about a month or two. Usually it kind of goes up, but that 92 drop lets me know he doesn't have anything else on his credit. He doesn't have a good mix of credit. So you just need to add some more credit card. Either get a personal loan, get a quick loan from like U.S. Bank or somewhere, and you'll jump right back up there. Yeah.
So, Kevin, I'll tell you what I've done to actually boost me up a bit without working with anybody. So what I did was that, number one, I went out and I applied for like a personal loan. When banks used to do personal loans, they're not doing too much of that. A lot of them stepping away from that. But some banks are still doing it. But anyway, I would go out
Yeah.
and get like $1,000 personal loan, 1,500, something small. A lot of times it's not because I need the money. And this is why I tell people, trying to get credit cards that are like 10,000 plus. If you could get at like a $7,000-8,000, awesome. But once you have 10,000 plus, it's considered collateral, and it makes your credit profile looks good. So I was trying to get that advice to a lot of friends. They're like, well, I don't want a lot of credit card debt. I don't want credit card bills. I don't want to be in debt. I don't want this. I'm like, no, you need to apply for it so your profile could look strong, so you could create strength in your profile. A lot of them did not get that. All my credit cards, most of them at 10,000, 15, 20,000. That helps maintain my score, and it helps also my utilization. That way, if I charge something for $5,000, I'm not at that 30%. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not at that whatever. I'm not 30, 40%. So I could go out and charge $2,000-3,000, whatever, right? Because my limit is like, you understand what I'm saying? 15, 20,000.
Well, that's why I like to transition into to business credit cards, because if you had a business credit card, you wouldn't have to worry about the utilization and on that factor. But on the same time, it doesn't help your personal credit score. So it's kind of a trade-off. But something I want to get into about how business credit cards are a key way to high utilization, and you still have the advantage of using those credit cards. But I did see a question about someone mentioned about why it's so hard to get over a 700 credit score, and I wanted to tune into that. Hot vegetarian. Basically, why it's so hard to get over a 700 credit score is because age of credit is so important. The mix of the amounts are important, as well as the time you paying on those accounts. So if you have a 680 and you're trying to get above 700, like I said, utilization is key. Make sure your utilization is down. You need to get it even below the 30%, down to 20s and even the 10s on most of your accounts. The amount of accounts also plays an account. So if you only have 3 accounts, one credit card, 1 car loan, maybe a mortgage, or 2 credit cards, 1 car loan, you need almost like 6 or 7. That's what's got me to my 750 or higher, having 7, 8, 9 accounts. I don't know why people are so afraid of credit card. I understand why, because if you don't have that discipline and you don't trust yourself with a $20,000 credit card sitting in your pocket, then it might be best not to apply for it. But older we get, we got to get disciplined. We got to understand that spending money on stuff you don't need, buying people stuff for Christmas that especially like I have kids, they only play with the stuff for one day. Like we got to get out of that and start making money off these credit cards and letting them stack up and letting the credit age. Stack up. Yeah.
I'm actually one of those people who actually do not, this is going to sound bad, but I do not focus around buying my daughter gifts for a holiday just because it's a holiday. I just don't do that. I don't know. My mindset just worked differently. There's things that I do for her that's like much bigger